All right, Dolphin fans, here we go. Game 1, Dolphins, Chargers. Boy, oh boy, there's some crazy things going on in the NFL right now. The Browns are winning. The Steelers are getting their asses kicked by the 49ers. I like to see that. But we've got Dolphins, Chargers coming up here in about a half an hour. Not that this is news to anybody, but Terrar and Umstead will not be. And shocking, I know, the fact that he said he'd be okay and then wasn't. I know. I'm flabbergasted as well. So, look, what do we got? We got Lamb, we got Wynn, and we'll just have to keep hoping. But if anybody else gets hurt, I have a feeling the next man up is Liam Eichenberg, which that's like the Titanic captain being the backup pilot, in case you know what I'm saying. Let's just get the W here. We start out on the road this year, 2 games in a row. It's never easy. I don't care who you're playing. I mean, the Colts are beating the Jaguars right now. The Browns are winning their game. There's some crazy things going on. Just get the W. Just get the W, because the Chiefs lost. The Bills and the Jets, one of those teams is most likely going to lose unless they get with a tie. Miami has a nice opportunity to start off here a little bit happy in the AFC. I don't want to see Mike, McDaniel, buddy, please just run the ball, okay? Let's just get in and get the hell out of here. We don't need to do anything fancy. Don't need to unload the playbook on them game 1, all right? Don't need revenge for last year. And, the defense. We don't know. We don't know. Let's be honest. Last time we saw the Dolphins defense, they were giving up the lead to Buffalo in the playoffs. We know what we hope, and we know what we expect, but in terms of the actual product on the field, that's 20 minutes away. So, how we do it around here is I do a little pregame like this, and I'll come on after the first half is over and either be happy or not, and then we'll do the post game. So, what did I say? I did my score picks. I believe it was 34-26. That sounds about right. I know that's a lot of points. I'm not sure I know if I can trust our defense just yet. As soon as they start pitching shutouts and only allowing 10 points a game, I'll buy all the way in because I'm stupid, because I'm a Dolphins fan. But until then, like I said, the lasting memory I have is of them blowing the lead against Buffalo, and then Skylar Thompson couldn't quite get the job done. And we should not expect Skylar Thompson to get the job done, because we have a quarterback that we took named Tua, and he's the guy that's got to get the job done. Stay healthy. Don't go headfirst into any piles, Tua. All right, let's get this game going. All right, so it's 20-17 Miami at halftime. There's so much. That was such a busy first half. Now, before I get going, I should let you guys know that the way I watch the game, unfortunately or fortunately, is I see what's going wrong. I enjoy the good plays, and I want us to win, and I cheer and all that. But the way I see the game is what should have happened, what should have been done. So I tend to complain a lot, even though sometimes it can be preemptive, premature complaining, because complaining in the halftime or after the first or second period and they still win the game, then the complaints are null and void. That said, what I will say, I'll say good and bad. I'll say the offensive line is giving Tua plenty of time. The bad news is that he's still making the same head-scratching, boneheaded decision 1 out of every 5 or 6 throws. He'll make a couple of really amazing throws, and you go, oh my God. And then the next throw, he throws into triple coverage when there's somebody else wide open 10 feet away. So the fact that the offensive line is holding up is really, really good, with the exception of we thought it was he didn't have enough time to make enough proper reads and make the correct throw. No, it's just his decision-making process is highly inconsistent. It's good, it's great, and then it's, oh my God, where's he throwing the ball? And it's been that way his entire career, and I don't think it's fixing to change. There were some maddening throws there where he threw into triple coverage. The one play that really got me, well, two. The one that was into triple coverage, but the play after Tyreek didn't catch the ball right at the goal line. The next play where we ended up settling for a field goal because the ball was incomplete, Tua threw into basically double coverage trying to get the ball, I think, to Smythe, and Tyreek was heading to the back of the end zone, and there was nobody there with him. There was nobody there. All Tua had to do was lob it up to the back of the end zone. It would have been a touchdown. So, unfortunately, I noticed those things. That said, couple of things that haven't changed. Mike McDaniel still is only going to throw the ball. Every once in a while, we're going to have a handoff, and even though we get 5-8 yards a carry, he's not going to hand the ball off 3 times in a row unless he absolutely gets forced to, which that's okay. We're winning the game. And why are we winning the game? We're winning the game despite ourselves somewhat, because we get the touchdown, or excuse me, was it the touch? No, we get a field goal, right? I forget which one we get. Whatever the point is. I'm crazy today. This has been a crazy day. The Chargers get the ball with like $1:45 left. They drive down the field. They get the long 50-yard field goal. We get the ball with 9 seconds left. And somehow we end up chucking it like 25 yards down the field. We get out of bounds with 2 seconds left. Then, all right, it's time for the Hail Mary. It was like at our own 45, so it was too long for a genuine field goal attempt. We get the ball at our own 45. Tua chucks it down the field, I think, to Eazy-E, and they tackle him before the ball gets there. Pass interference, and then Sanders knocks it through, and we've got a 20-17 lead in the first half. Now, the defense is pretty much abject ass right now, okay? Last year, our pass defense was not good, but the run defense was pretty solid. Now, it's just ass all over the place. I know they've only got 17 points, but it could get ugly, okay? If they have another half the way they had this half, they're going to get another 2 or 3 touchdowns, and they're gorging us. We've made a couple of plays. Wilkins has had a couple of plays, but let me put it this way. I'm not blaming the players. For the most part, the first few drives, the scheme was terrible. Awful, awful, awful defensive design. Now, it seems as though they've straightened that out a little bit. But those first few drives, and especially the one long run, I mean, we've got 3 guys on the defensive line. All that the Chargers are doing is double teaming the two inside guys. There's nothing in the middle. Like, I could drive my van through the hole that Eckler had on that long run. So that needs to be addressed, because Wilkins and Sealer and all of those guys, they don't suddenly suck. Okay? They were at least good against the run last year. And now San Diego's San Diego. They're always going to be San Diego to me. The Chargers are ripping off 5, 6, 7 yards, especially the first couple of drives. Every first down play was a 7-yard run. It's game one. It's game one. I'm attempting to calm down. I've been a little animated during this stream. The fact that the Chargers dummied themselves into giving us back the lead before halftime, hopefully that's not false hope. What I would like to see, what I would like to see in the second half ain't going to happen, because what I would like to see is run the ball to keep our halfway-ass defense off of the field. I said that in the preview. I'm going to say it again, but he ain't going to run the ball. He's going to throw it out there with Tua every play, and Tua is going to have a completion, and then where the hell are you throwing the ball? And then he's going to make a really amazing throw after that, then 2 more really good completions, and then he's going to throw one that makes you want to throw up and throw it at the TV, because the guy is triple covered and Tyreek is over to the other side of the field alone by himself smoking a joint. That said, we're winning the game. So let's move on to the second half and see how this goes. All All right, Miami. What did I tell you? That's what I do, right? You're welcome. I take it all back to, he still's inconsistent, but that's okay. It's all right. Look. I don't believe we won that game. The Chargers, you know that field goal at the end of the half that they gave us? Now, I will say this. The defense just saved Jason Sanders' life. No, there's no way that kid could show his face in South Florida anytime soon if we lose this game 37-36 because the dude blew an extra point. That can't happen again, Jason, but we'll give you a break. The other question I have is what's funny is that we hired Fangio because we couldn't just rely on the all-out blitz all the time, right? Because that would get us burnt. And what saves our ass today? The all-out blitz. Chargers get the ball back, $1:45 left, and got a timeout or two. Sanders misses the extra point. You're thinking, there's no way. There's no way. And the defense all of a sudden shows up, of course, because we sent an all-out blitz and there was nothing that they could do to stop us. Now, I did say the score was going to be 36-24. And when Sanders lined up to take that extra point, that was in my head. I said, I said we'd get 36 points, and we did. Unfortunately, not exactly the way I would want, but we'll take it. We will take it. Tua is Tua, right? The throw to Tyreek Hill. And this is why I get so aggravated with Tua when he makes stupid decisions. Because the throw to Tyreek Hill, the last one, that was insane. That was insane. The touch, the accuracy, it's completely unstoppable. So I know he can make plays like that. That's why I get so aggravated when he throws into triple coverage when Tyreek Hill is open. You see what I'm saying? So look, a win is 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 a win. The Chiefs lost. The Patriots just lost. The Jets or the Bills are going to lose tomorrow. Ravens won a game. But the AFC is right there. Now look. Put the offense, take the offense, and put it over here. The defense. Now, I know it made the plays there at the end with the all-out blitz. That doesn't stop the fact that the Chargers had like 600 yards rushing, 20 yards a carry. That was the worst rushing defensive performance I've seen since John Riggins beat the shit out of us in that Super Bowl. That's how long it's been, and we've had some bad defenses. That was terrible. But I said it on Twitter, I said it here, I'll say it again. I think it's the scheme, because those guys don't just suddenly suck, okay? So we need to get that figured out, okay? Because let's also talk about this for a second. As I was screaming at the TV like I was a Chargers fan, on the Chargers' last drive, all they had to do was run the ball down our throat like they could do, run the clock out, bleed the clock out, and it would have been over. And when they got that big play, and they had the ball, I think, around like the 35-25, that's what I thought that they were going to do. But for some reason, they were throwing the ball and running the hurry-up offense while they were trying to bleed out a lead. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I said to Kyle, I said, if the Dolphins were doing this, I'd be screaming bloody murder. Because why they were not running the ball, and certainly they did not bleed the clock. There were plenty of plays with 10, 8, 7 seconds left on the play clock, and they were doing the hurry-up offense. Defense holds them to the field goal. Tua comes out, and that drive, just unbelievable. That last drive, I'll say it, it was Marino-esque. That throw to Tyreek Hill is completely, you can't defend that because the throw has no business being thrown. And I'm not saying that to be critical, but when you watch the film as a defensive player or coordinator, you're like, you should never throw that ball. Now, maybe that's why Tua throws into triple coverage one too many times, but Tua, please, buddy, it's simple math. I understand the double coverage. I can live with that. But it's simple math, Tua. If one guy has three guys covering him, that by law, somebody on the field is open. And if you have time, which you have time today, take a look around at more than your first read. But the difference between this game and what we normally would see from this team is this game had all of the earmarkings of how to blow a game. All right, all the way down to when Sanders misses the extra point. Jay, are you kidding me? But I'm spent. That was crazy. I think there were 7 lead changes. And look, we all thought for sure the Chargers were going to go down there and kick that field goal at the end because the defense had just been terrible all day. And somehow, some way, found a way to win. And that's all that matters right now. Okay? At the end of the season, when they add them all up, and whether or not we're going to get the top seed or make the playoffs or whatever it is, a win is a win is a win is a win. That's all that matters. All right. Not bad for the first game of the year. I got the points right. I got our points right anyway. So that was a little bit. It's going to be a long week, Dolphin fans, of talking about the defense, right? The couple of things Tua did in the first half, let it go because he led the comeback and all that's fine. But we can't go back to saying, well, I guess the only thing we have on defense is the all-out blitz. That's got to get solved. I mean, 5, 6, 7 yards a carry. That's got to get solved. But all right. Colin and I will be back streaming. We had a good time tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Jets, Bills. That's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. I don't want to think about what Aaron Rodgers would do to this defense or the Bills. I don't want to think about that right now. Right now, we're 1-0. That's all that matters.